From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and U.S. President Joe Biden discussed the economy, climate change, migration, and defense during a meeting at the G20 summit in Brazil. The White House says in a statement that both leaders agreed that strengthening democracy and rule of law were essential to the prosperity and success of North America. The meeting comes just weeks before President-elect Donald Trump takes office and after the Associated Press reported Biden authorized Ukraine to use American-supplied missiles to strike deeper inside Russia. An Ottawa man is pleading not guilty to charges of terrorism and hate speech related to the promotion of a far-right group.
The RCMP charged Patrick Gordon MacDonald in July 2023, alleging he took part in activities of a listed terrorist organization. It's the first case in Canada where the government laid charges for both terrorism and hate propaganda against someone for promoting a violent far-right ideology. As the trial opened today, Crown prosecutors allege that MacDonald helped produce propaganda for the Adam Waffen Division, an international neo-Nazi organization that Canada listed as a terror group back in 2021. Rob Westgate, The Canadian Press.
A so-called bomb cyclone is expected to bring powerful winds to Vancouver Island and the coast of British Columbia soon. Environment Canada has issued a special weather statement noting a significant storm will develop about 400 kilometers off the coast of Vancouver Island tomorrow. Meanwhile, wintry weather is making its way across some parts of the prairies. The weather agency has issued a snowfall warning for Calgary, the surrounding area, and much of northeastern Saskatchewan. Western Manitoba is also under a winter storm watch. Police say the death of a young Halifax woman whose body was recently found in a Walmart's walk-in oven isn't suspicious and there's no evidence of foul play.
The death of the 19-year-old employee in the Walmart's bakery last month is now the subject of a separate workplace investigation led by Nova Scotia's Labour Department. A police spokesman posted a video on Facebook saying the police don't believe that anyone else was involved in the circumstances surrounding the woman's death. Police said they conducted several interviews, reviewed video footage, and worked with the Provincial Labour Department and the Nova Scotia Medical Examiner Service. Exactly what caused the woman's death is yet to be released. Police say they have informed the woman's family of their findings. Keith Doucette, The Canadian Press, Halifax.
And the head of the Canadian Federation of Independent Businesses says a Canada Post strike hasn't just stopped deliveries of holiday gifts. Dan Kelly says many small businesses are stuck waiting for checks and invoices that were sent through the mail.
When a postal strike happens, there's always a bunch of money that gets frozen in the mail at that time. And it takes days, sometimes weeks, for that to be sorted out.
50,000 workers at the Crown Corporation responsible for ferrying mail went on strike Friday over fair wages and safer working conditions. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Toronto Argonauts will host a championship rally tomorrow in Maple Leaf Square to celebrate their Grey Cup victory. Toronto defeated the Winnipeg Blue Bombers 41-24 last night in Vancouver. It's the second CFL title in 3 years for the Boatmen. In the NHL, the Edmonton Oilers will continue their road trip tonight with a visit to Montreal. The Canadiens are tied for last place in the Eastern Conference standings. Oilers defenseman Darnell Nurse is expected to miss at least 5 days after taking a hit to the head in Saturday's overtime loss in Toronto. Meanwhile, Oilers center Connor McDavid has been named the NHL's first star of the week. Earlier this week, he became the fourth youngest player in league history to reach the 1,000-point milestone. And Canadian catcher Russell Martin is one of 14 players on baseball's Hall of Fame ballot for the first time. The Toronto native played 14 seasons in the big leagues and was an all-star on 4 occasions. From the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.